So tomorrow evening, Saturday night, we're gonna go into the rematch between the undisputed lightweight champion and the undisputed super lightweight champion, which is Chantelle Cameron. Now, in the first fight, you had Katie Taylor moving up, competing for Chantelle Cameron's undisputed titles. We had undisputed versus undisputed. It was a decent fight. Was a good fight. Katie Taylor, she's been a real sort of flag bearer, I suppose, for women's boxing. She's very very good amateur, outstanding, and even as a professional, she's had some good fights. She's had some wars, and yeah, she was undefeated up until she ran into Chantelle Cameron, moved up in weight and everything. So the previous fight was a fight where very action packed. For me, all the way through that fight, I could see that Chantelle Cameron was the boss. Um, she was the girl that was sort of landing the more effective punches, and for the pretty much most of the rounds, Katie Taylor was sort of coming off second best in that fight. She would sort of stand in a pocket with Chantelle Cameron, and Chantelle Cameron would always sort of land the better shots. Taylor was visibly rocked a number of times in that fight, and for me, Cameron was just able to outfight her. She done well, even from the sort of outside, landing the long shots, long straight shots, good jabs and right hands, straight 1-2s and everything that was working like a treat for her all night long. And Katie Taylor just wasn't really able to get her combinations and her flurries off with regularity, because Chantelle Cameron was just dominating the fight from the outside, just boom, 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 every time, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and very accurate with her shots was Chantelle Cameron. So for me, she was a very clear winner, and Taylor was always sort of coming off second best. Um, Taylor sort of done well, but it was mainly just in spots in the first fight, just in certain little spots where she would have a flurry and land a few. Sometimes the commentary wouldn't recognize as well Chantelle Cameron's work. They would recognize things Kate Taylor was doing, but when Chantelle Cameron would respond to those comments, she'd throw a combination. Chantelle would counter her with some things. Sometimes that was going under the radar, going unrecognized by the commentary, but it certainly, from what I could see, yeah, she had a response for everything Katie Taylor did, and I think if Katie Taylor brings a similar sort of tactics where she spends a lot of time up close, in the pocket, in the wheelhouse, so to speak, of Chantelle Cameron, then she's gonna lose in the same way. Now, for me, I just, unless Katie Taylor can do something very different in this fight, and I think, at least in my opinion, what Taylor would need to do to stand a chance of winning this fight is to commit to mainly just fighting on the back foot and trying to, I suppose, trying to sort of be the counterpuncher in this fight. Moving backwards, moving laterally, making Chantelle Cameron have to sort of chase her down, and trying to do her work as Chantelle Cameron comes in. So I think that's what Taylor's kind of got to do. Sort of got to work behind the jab and sort of be backing off most of the time, side to side movement, and just trying to catch Chantelle Cameron as she comes in. I think the last time that being in the pocket, being up close, being personal, just did not work, and it will not work again if she tries that again. I think, last time she was like sort of doing this thing of, you hit me, I'll hit you, you hit me, I'll hit you, and at that sort of mid to long range, Chantelle Cameron was just far too much for her, and I find it hard to sort of pick against Chantelle Cameron going into this fight. I think Katie Taylor will again give a good account of herself, and she will again, have her moments of success. But unless she can really sort of change the game plan, do something, quite drastically different, really commit to that back foot boxing and try to, make Chantelle chase her, although Chantelle Cameron ain't going to have no problem doing that. But if Taylor can sort of step back a bit, try to land the combinations as Cameron comes in, try to sort of be first and be last, and then move on again and, use all of the ring and things of that nature, sort of back foot boxing, I think that's the only way that she can really, that she could sort of win this fight. And even if she does that, that might not even work, But for me, that's just my sort of opinion. But in terms of a winner, as I've said, for me, it's repeat for Chantelle Cameron. As I don't think Katie Taylor can really do anything different. I think this is a case where Chantelle Cameron, with her skill set, and Cameron, it doesn't help Katie Taylor that Chantelle Cameron's got such a good engine. She can throw punches from round 1 to round 10. She's got a brilliant engine. She doesn't really gas out. She knows how to measure the pace, and she punches in high volume too, and she punches hard as well. So I think Chantelle Cameron is basically the kryptonite to Katie Taylor's Supergirl, or whatever you want to hear it. So I just think Chantelle Cameron has just got the number of Katie Taylor. And I see ways that Katie Taylor can be maybe more successful in this fight, but I see no way in which, especially as this is kind of a immediate rematch, I don't see anything that Katie Taylor is going to be able to do differently in order to win this fight. But let me know if you think differently. But for me, this is a repeat victory and still the champion, Chantelle Cameron. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And until next time, it's MKO Pugilism over and out.